Hello everyone, my name is Denise and today I'll be talking on the topic of grandiosity. Is grandiosity equals to narcissism? No. And to elaborate, I will be quoting from this article by Father Ronald Roheiser, Our Grandiosity and Our Wounds. Let me start by reading selective paragraphs from this article. We wake up into life with the incurable sense that we are special, that we are the center of the universe, and subjectively we are. In our awareness, we are the center of the universe and life does revolve around us. Our own being is what's most massively real to us. As Descartes famously said, the only thing that we know for sure is real is our own selves. I think, therefore I am. We may be dreaming everything else. The doctrine of original sin has something important to say, but it isn't first of all to shame us of our natural pride and the sense of specialness. The real reason why pride and grandiosity are incurably ingrained inside us is because God built us that way. And that of itself is not a fault or a corruption, but instead constitutes what's highest and most precious inside us. Both Christianity and Judaism take as dogma that we are born, every one of us, in the image and likeness of God. That's not to be imagined piously as some beautiful icon stamped inside our souls, but rather as fire, a divine fire, which, because it is godly, brings with it a sense of preciousness, dignity, and uniqueness of our lives. But with that too comes, as part of the package, pride and grandiosity. Simply put, we can't have godliness inside us and not feel ourselves as special. Grandiosity, pride, shame, frustration, and daydreams of greatness can indeed be our downfall and turn us into awful persons. Selfish, jealous, spiteful, and murderous. But they can also be the source of greatness, of nobility of soul, of generosity, of selflessness, of generativity, of true prayer, and can turn us into selfless martyrs of faith, hope, and charity. Our godliness is a very mixed blessing, but it is no doubt our greatest blessing. So this is awesome. Because most lay people and even counselors and psychologists, they might equate grandiosity to narcissism. If you have grandiosity, you've got narcissistic traits, or you have narcissistic PD. If you have grandiosity, you are a bloody narcissist. But according to this article, every one of us has a part of us that needs to feel special and that feels grandiose. Why? Because we are created in the image and likeness of God, and God is, after all, the highest good. So it is very normal to have this grandiosity, so to speak. But maybe if I could change it, I might change it to a different word, this godly dignity, more than I would use grandiosity. Okay? So it is important not to project all our own internal grandiosity onto a select group of people, like the narcissists of this world. I project all my internal grandiosity upon them and I shame them. Shame on you for being so proud. Shame on you for wanting to be special. Shame on you for being so grandiose. Because that is essentially disowning a part of us, and that will lead to true narcissism. Grandiosity is not equals to narcissism. In fact, it's important to take back that grandiose part of ourselves, reintegrate it back into us, and learn to listen to what it demands of us. Learn to be compassionate to it. So what does that inner grandiosity demand of us? Firstly, it demands an expression. How do I describe it? Like a expression of your own creative genius, because you know that God is the creator, right? So as humans, because we are created in the image of likeness of God, we may want to create great works of art, or great intellectual pieces, or great music. Have there been people in our society that has succeeded? The answer is yes. You think about Beethoven, Mozart, you think about Van Gogh, you think about in terms of world psychology, maybe people like Carl Jung, Sigmund Freud, even Carl Rogers, they reached the very limit of creative expression, of brilliance. And yet, one of the banes of having this godliness in us is that even once you reach the ceiling of creative expression, you realize that you still would want to push through because of the inner godliness inside us demands so much more. As a result, in the words of Father Ron, in the end, all of us die with a life that was never fully consummated. We always get the sense that there's so much more that we need to do, that we must do, and that is in itself a pain that we must bear. Greater things can be expected in heaven, of course. I'd like to quote from another article by Father Ron Roheiser, Displacing Ego and Narcissism. Let me read that to you. But it actually comes as a shock to people when someone suggests that great people, spiritual people, have strong egos. For example, Francis of Assisi, Teresa of Avila, Therese of Lisieux, and Mother Teresa, for all their humility, had strong egos. Namely, they had a clear sense of their own identity, their own giftedness, and their own importance. However, in each case, they also had the strong concomitant sense that their persons and the gifts did not originate within themselves and were not meant for them. Rather, like Israel's sense of itself as a chosen people, they were clear that the source of their giftedness was God, and their gifts were intended not for themselves, but for others. And in that lies the difference between having a strong ego and being a strong egoist. An egoist has a strong ego and is gifted, but he understands himself as the creator and objective of that gift. Conversely, great persons have strong egos, but are always aware that their giftedness does not come from them, but is something flowing through them as a gift for others. So the last sentence actually refers to this thing called a charism. When God gives you a charism, it's something that a gift that He gives, but not for your own sake, for others. Like, what are some charisms? Charism of healing. You can't heal yourself, but you can heal others. The charism of teaching. Because you're already teaching is what you already know, so you have really actually no real benefit to yourself, but when others listen to it, they learn, so that's another charism. Okay, so this is what it was describing, the last sentence. Okay, I really like this second article as well, because it distinguishes between being an egoist and having a strong ego. Having a strong ego is a good thing. Okay, mind you, both are only possible because there's that godly grandiosity inside us, okay? But one is when it turns really sour, when you become an egoist. Everything is, you are the ultimate creator, you praise yourself, everything's about yourself, using your own creativeness for your own means to build your own ego. So that's egoist, that's not so good. The other one is about having a strong ego, a strong sense of self, of identity. That's very important because in our walk with God, many people will be attacking us. Like Saint Teresa of Avila said, you're like walking as a flag bearer into a field, a battlefield, and there's no way that you can defend yourself. You're subject to so many people attacking you from all angles, and you got to trust God's angels or God's army and soldiers to protect you, but you have to walk firmly holding the flag and walking in. So that is really creepy and requires lots of faith. I can't say that I fully understand that, but I sort of sense that I'm so-called experiencing part of it right now. So in order to survive as the flag bearer, I need to have a strong ego. I need to know who I am and who I'm not. So when the devil is near me, no, this is not a schizophrenic talk, by the way. It's more like a reference to narrative therapy. I externalize. Okay, when the devil is near me, he's sort of whispering things about me that are untrue, like, oh, you bloody narcissist, you got this grandiosity in you. I can tell them, no, it's not it. I'm a creature of God and I'm born with that. And I would like to claim that for myself. I'm not ashamed of my pride and narcissism and need to be special. That's okay. I want to help others with this gift. I don't want to use it to puff up my own ego. Nope. Although sometimes I might do it. But the ultimate aim is to help build God's kingdom. Okay, I hope that you found this video helpful. And if you found it helpful, kindly press subscribe, like and share it with your friends. Thank you and God bless.